Welcome back to Old Guy REI. In this episode of Workman Confessions, as usual, I'm going to try to organize all these crazy thoughts going through my mind and put them in a form that you might be able to understand and get some value from. If you don't know me, my name's Frank. Just consider me your favorite old guy. I'm a contractor here in California on the Central Coast, and my wife and I are real estate investors trying to build a rental portfolio out of state in the Midwest. This morning's first crazy thought was sometimes when we get news, whether it's in our personal life or something to do with your rentals, maybe a tenant puts in a maintenance request or something, but our mind automatically goes to the worst case, right? At least mine used to. And so all the time that we spend between when we got the news and when we get all the facts is kind of has a cloud hanging over it, right? You're not your normal self, no matter how much you try to think you are. But a friend in one of our groups brought something to my attention, and they were saying that for each of those situations, we can think of it logically or emotionally. And most of the time I would go emotional first. But if we think about it logically and then we get all the facts, I think generally, in most cases, things are not as bad as we imagined or made them in our minds. So I would encourage you, as I'm trying to do, to go logical first, get all the facts, understand the situation for what it really is, and then you can deal with it and move past. I wouldn't say all that time was wasted as far as, hitting it emotionally first, but I think it's not the best. It doesn't create the best situations. Maybe it puts you in a bad mood, or maybe you're short when you're speaking to someone, or impatient, whatever it might be. But we'll go logical first, and usually things will work out better. For example, I just left a doctor's appointment today, and a couple of weeks ago I had blood tests done, and some of the results came back less than perfect. So automatically I thought, okay, well, I have a couple more weeks to live. I better make the most of it. But now that I've seen my doctor and realized that I wasn't looking at it correctly, there are some things I need to work on, don't get me wrong, but apparently I'm not dying next week. So all the time from when I got the test results to when I saw my doctor today was kind of overshadowed, right? It had a cloud hanging over you, and you're not acting or performing at your best because of it. I think, most of that is on me because I live the way I live, and I know I should probably do better with diet or whatever it is, but so that's something that I have to deal with. But I think the other part of that is we aren't guaranteed tomorrow, right? And I've said this before. I hope you're not tired of hearing it, but we're not guaranteed tomorrow. So I always like to encourage people to let people that are important to you know that they're important to you today. Hug your kids, hug your wife, let them know, how much you appreciate them and love them. Maybe you have some great friends out there, and I'm sure they would love to hear that you think about them, even when you guys aren't around each other or whatever. And I know a lot of you out there are important to us, and this is my chance to share that with you too. That we appreciate you, and our lives are better because you're in it. And then the second thought was that, I've shared struggles recently that we're going through with our portfolio and how we're managing to get through it and things like that. A bunch of stuff that we're learning. But we're grateful for the opportunity. We're making the best of it, and failure is not an option. If you know anything about our story, we tried this once before and it didn't go very well. We had a lot of losses back then, but we're so thankful that we have this opportunity to try it again, and I know it's going to work. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it. And a few other people out there, a few other friends of ours are doing videos as well and sharing honestly some of their emotions, and that because they're having challenges. And I always wish that I could just jump on a call with them right away and say, hey, we're going through the same thing. We're always here for you to chat with if you want. Maybe it's things that we've gone through and we can help that way. Maybe it's we haven't gone through it yet and we can just help by listening. But we're always up for that. But it is a lot of pressure. And over the last several months, I would say it was depressing. But we're making it through it. And I think the biggest reason that I was feeling that way was because not just for me, like that I felt like I was failing, and you're not really failing if you're learning and you're keeping on with the moving towards your goal. You're still trying, and I think you really only fail if you stop or quit. Then it was hitting me really hard because my goal was to help my wife retire, and by doing or having these experiences, I felt like that goal was getting pushed further and further out. And I don't feel like we have a lot of time to be making mistakes. But like I said, I do know it's going to work. We have proof from other people in the group that it does work. And so it took me a while to get over that. And my wife is on this journey with me 100%. She's always been supportive. She's always trusted me, and let me know that we're in it together, right? I hope you have someone like that in your life. I guess what you would call your ride or die. And she's pulled me through a couple of difficult situations when, maybe you think, well, let's just sell it all and hope we can live on whatever we get back. But that's obviously wasn't the best option, and she helped me through that. So those are my crazy thoughts for today. Hopefully, if you're going through anything, you can reach out. Like I said, if you just want to talk, it doesn't even have to be about real estate, but I'm a good listener. Hopefully I could have some suggestions that might be able to help. And again, I appreciate those other people that are being honest about what they're going through, because although we do find value in listening to someone's wins, a lot of us get more value out of listening to someone's challenges and how they're making it through it. So I hope this helps. And again, if you would consider subscribing if you're finding any value or getting any entertainment out of anything I've done in the past, feel free to like it. We appreciate that. And we'll see you on the next one.